Hey, everybody, welcome back for day 64 of 100 Days of Halloween. I hope you all are doing well and enjoying your week. So, 100 Days of Halloween, what am I doing? I have joined in on the bandwagon with several of my Yarny friends and sisters, namely our ringleader or shenanigator, which is Ranee over at the Woolly Llama Shop, was discussing with us back in July that she was wanting to do a blanket Halloween slash fall project for the 100 Days of Halloween, which was quickly approaching right after that. And her idea was to build this blanket of 100 squares, one for each of the 100 days of Halloween. And excuse me, each of her squares would be a different Halloween or fall theme, etc. And she had compiled this big long list from searching the interwebs of all of these different fall and Halloween themed squares, appliques, and she decided she was going to draw them at random and build this blanket. I thought it was a brilliant idea. I joined in as well as some other Yarny friends and sisters, Patricia over at the Yarny Cat Crochet and Nova over at Nomad Gnome Creations. And some of you guys have said you've joined in. So far, I've only got one picture. I need pictures. I want to see what you guys are making. So, although Rainy's blanket is more structured with her drawing these things at random for you guys and providing you guys with free tutorials and written patterns on blog posts for your squares or appliques or whatever you want to use them for. Um, I decided I was going to do mine a little different and throw caution to the wind and creativity and everything else, and taking inspiration from you guys as well as Rainy and Patricia and Nova. And so I'm randomly drawing squares out of my Boo Box of Fate to decide what color square we're going to be using for the following day, and then putting something on it, most generally, either fall or Halloween themed. Now, Rainey has had to pivot a little bit on hers. Um, and if you haven't seen those videos, you need to go check them out. Um, I'm in love with her blanket and the whole process that she's been going through. I've been enjoying seeing her from going from very structured to ah, well, I'm gonna enjoy the process. Kind of like me. And then we have Patricia over at the Yarny Cat Crochet, not making a blanket. She has made a wearable, she has made a handbag, and she has made an Ami. And a little birdie has said she is working on another one. Um, we won't know until she drops a video because she doesn't tell us. And then we have Nova over at Nova Gnome Creations that is making wearables with her squares. And she is making not one, not two, but three, because not only for herself, but for some very important littles in her life. And she is being secretive as to showing those projects because she's waiting till her big bash of the 13 days of Halloween leading up to Halloween. And I cannot wait to see those as well. So, as far as the squares, I have been doing the 100, one for every day so far, and today we are on day 64. And most generally, there is an applique or something on a square or some type of motif built within the square. I've been using a lot of inspiration from you guys, and a lot of that inspiration means that I'm having to freehand. So, if that's what we got to do, we got to do, right? So, we've already completed squares 1 through 60. And for each group of 10, I've done a video recap before I feed my blanket. And if you've been around a while, you know why I have to feed the blanket, because it's loaded with black kitties. So now we are working on the group of 10 that consist of 61 through 70. So, without further ado, and as of yesterday, we were still drawing from the Boo Box. Now we are working on the squares that I have drawn out because I will be on vacation. And so I'm going to add these into my video recap on a daily basis. And I will just pull out the squares out of what we, as Amy from Hooked on Wishing called it, my vacation Granny Square Advent. This is what it's been called for now, my vacation Advent for squares. So let's see what square we had for today. And we will start with day 61 and work our way up to today, day 64. And like I said, we won't be drawing a new square because we've already drawn them. I think we drew them about a week or so ago so that I could be prepared for while I was gone. So, day 61, we drew this square that was made from this Red Heart Super Saver in the Jumbo Stripes Brights because we had made a bunch of those squares because I loved how the colors were working up. And most generally, we don't cover them up, but I did on this occasion. And I used the smidgy bit ball that was left over that wouldn't create a full granny square. And I just made little Halloween candies. So that was day 61. And then for day 62 square that we drew at random, we drew out this, it was like a sunset vibe. It had this yellow with orange speckles. And then it went to a bright orange, a deeper orange, a light red, a brighter red, and then a deep red. And I had found a new to me bat tutorial that I hadn't used before, and I really wanted to use it. And a bunch of you had even guessed this one, and I put that new bat on there. And all of the information for whatever square, if it's a tutorial or a written blog post pattern, will be in the description box. But if I freehanded it, there is no pattern as of this time. So we put, and I used the black sparkly yarn. I don't know if I showed that before. So he is black and sparkly. He's glistening in the sunset. So that was day 62. And then for day 63, we drew out a purple square. Yes, we did. Matches my shirt. And it's like a grapey purple. Exactly this color, pretty much, if you can tell. See? And I decided to put this applique on here because a bunch of you kept suggesting this one, and I cannot remember all of the names. I know Nova has said it. Sam from Memphis Makes has said it. I think Patricia has suggested it. There's just a bunch of you, and this one kept popping up. And I thought purple would be the good way to go, not realizing that it was going to match basically my Missi's Yarniverse and More project totes with the little Yarniverse. I did the alien in his UFO with some little planets and some stars and one streaking across the sky. Yep. And this was free-handed. I did find some paid for patterns, but I didn't quite like how they were, and I didn't want to pay for a pattern because I'm trying to do this all free, unless it's something I already own and I've yet to use. Well, I can't say. I've made one applique that was a paid for pattern from years ago, but I haven't used it in the blanket yet. I'm trying to figure out how to implement it because it's bigger than one square. So it may get put on the blanket or it may not. So I free-handed this little alien in a UFO with some little planets. And yeah, like I said, after I got it done, I didn't realize how closely it went with this. Maybe it was Kismet. So that was a day 53. And let's put this bag back. So for day 64 square, we drew this one out at random when I was prepping my vacation advent. See, Wednesday, day 24 for day 64. September 24th. I had the dates on here. And we drew out at random this Red Heart Super Saver in the neon stripes. And at this point right now, because there's so much color play in it, I'm going to, and this is almost giving me a kitty cat vibe now that I'm looking at it. I'm going to leave this blank for now because I may end up with, because you guys know I've been making extra appliques and throwing them in a box that haven't been used yet. And I may end up, if some of them are going to match up on some of these squares that are blank, I may implement them at a later date. But for right now, it's going to remain um, just like it is with all the color play in it because I love the colors. And it might work for some of those appliques that are pretty big if they're stacked or have another one. We will have to see how we can work that in because that way we could implement those. So we're going to leave it blank for now. So that was day 64 from the Vacation Granny Square Advent. So there we go. And of course, we're not drawing because we're on vacation. So I guess with that, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Yeah, now we have 4. We've got candies. We've got a bat, sunset bat. We've got our little alien and a UFO. I hope you guys like it that kept guessing alien. And then we've got our jumbo stripes in the neons that is going to remain blank for the time being. So there we go. 4 down. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I love you bunches. And I will be back tomorrow, or after this filming, I will be back to film for tomorrow. So I will see you tomorrow for day 65. And we'll see what that square was. Because I have to look at them to even remember. I'm glad I marked the bags. Yeah. The Granny Square Advent was a great idea. So love you guys bunches. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.